Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Just tired. I feel like I'm getting like this whole week I've been tired, and I don't know if it's just because we've been really busy or if I'm like starting to feel that pregnancy fatigue again, which I hope it isn't like already starting back up because I feel like it was short lived, my energy. But this morning I remember last episode I updated that I had my anatomy scan. Maybe it was the
Hmm.
episode before, I can't remember. But I had to go back for some additional imaging that they couldn't get the first time, and everything was good. The only thing is, like, the first time they did the heartbeat, it was, like, in the 160s, and she said that was high, but then she did it again, like, later, and it was fine, so I don't know if it just, like, misreads sometimes. She didn't seem concerned, she didn't say anything, but, yeah, he was like wiggling around. He was breech, and then his head was down, and then he was breech again. He was just like rolling, but he's been so active. I feel like he is way more active than Eleanor was. Like
Hmm.
Eleanor, I would feel her maybe like a few times throughout the day, but I consistently feel him. Like,
That's how it was with Axel. Like I felt it
uh
all the time. But
yeah,
I was gonna say his Axel's like heartbeat always like went anywhere between 150 and 160. I felt like, so that's pretty normal.
yeah. I didn't think it was bad. Like, I didn't think it was that high. She was like, "Oh, it's high. Let's do it again." And I was like, "Oh." But then it was 156 and she's like, "Oh, that's good." I'm like, "Okay." Sure.
Interesting.
But yeah, so that was like super early this morning. But everything looks good. I love to see him. I feel like in his ultrasound pictures, he looks different than Eleanor. So I'm like so curious. And
Oh,
you can't
I'm so
really
curious.
tell, but
Hmm.
and every picture looks different. Like the ones they took today, it looks like he has like a littler chin. But like the ones from the other ultrasound, it looks like it was a little bit bigger. So it's really weird how different it looks.
Yeah.
I like when they do the face one. I feel like that was like really late for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder. You never know. Like he could come out being a redhead too, because you have that on your
I
side
know
of
he
your family.
could. I know. He really could. That
It'll
would
be
be really
interesting.
funny.
I'm really interested to
Yeah.
see the babies. Just
I
like
know
how
my
they
mom
compare to
thinks.
Eleanor and Axel. Yeah.
Mhm. It's so interesting because you have some couples who have identical kids, right? But then you have other couples who clearly one looks like the dad and one looks like the mom, you know? So it's like really interesting how siblings come out. My mom was saying that she thinks Arlo will look exactly like Eleanor. And I was
Yeah.
like, "You think so?"
Well, I feel like me and the twins, like, look so much alike that
You
it's,
do,
like,
yeah.
hard to, like, picture that siblings would look any different, but then when I look at Austin and Jamie, like, Austin and his brother look a lot alike, but Austin and
Mhm.
Jamie look so much alike, but also different at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah. What I think is so interesting is that not your youngest sister, but your second to youngest sister. What's her
Mhm.
name? I think that's who
Oh,
I'm talking
Sarah.
about. The Sarah, yeah, she like looks. Is it Sarah? That she looks identical to Katie.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Uh huh.
yeah,
And
and she
they
acts
have
like
different
me.
dads.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, so must be like a really strong gene for your mom.
It must be.
Uh huh.
Mhm. Yeah, where I
Yeah,
feel
very
like
interesting.
but I feel like Lily and Sarah still have, like, some of that where they look like my mom, but, like, you can tell that they look like their dad too. I don't know, it's so weird.
Hmm.
So weird to
Yeah,
me.
I know it is. It's weird
But
to
they're
me too.
very different. They're very different than, like, me and the twins,
Yeah, yeah.
even though they have the same parents.
Hmm. Rob also last weekend had the first overnight away from Eleanor. So I haven't slept away from her yet, but that was his first night away. He went on like a no, kayaking trip with his brother and his dad. And I was like, "You're going to be away from her." He's like, "I am. I thought I did it already." Like, nope. Nope, this is your first time. But it was chill. I mean, of course, it went fine because we did the same. It's not like her routine was necessarily changed because I typically do all the night stuff. I'm wondering, like, if I have a night away and Rob has to, like, do everything, if it would actually, no, it wouldn't be because 'cause I've had evenings when I've been gone the whole evening and he's put her to bed, and she hadn't had
Mm.
any issues, so I think as long as one parent's there, it's good. But yeah, first time, I was like, "Oh, big step."
Big step for Rob.
Uh-huh. And
Ha-
then being sick again. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I left Axel at 3 months old overnight, and I feel like that was the hardest one because it just
When he
like,
was younger?
hmm
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what was going on the whole time, you know.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
it's scary when they're younger. I feel like I'm definitely more secure in her sleep now than I was when during, like, the newborn infant stage.
hmm what'd you say about being?
Yeah, so being it's still ongoing, but he's still sick. So he has some GI issue. We ended up taking him to a specialist at a hospital, and they were able to do like an ultrasound, and I think they did some blood work, and they were also testing for a few other things. I think we have to bring us in a stool sample too to get some other stuff tested. But the two things that they're leaning towards that it possibly could be is some type of GI issue where he has like a protein allergy to a specific meat protein. So I have to get like a very, very specific food and we have to like try it out. And if that one doesn't work, we have to try because it's like you can do duck or venison or rabbit. So we have to like cycle through these until we find one that may work. And if none of those work, then we'll have to like look into other things. And then the second one was toxoplasmosis, I think it was called. And that's the one where you shouldn't scoop your cat's poop when you're pregnant because if your cat has it, it can like transfer to the fetus, which I don't even know where he would have gotten it unless he's had it forever because he was rescued when he was like kitten. But yeah, so they're testing for those things. But in the meantime, we're like still having throw up episodes because we haven't gotten the new uh food yet because you have to like order it. The vet has to approve it and then it gets shipped to you, which is like a very long process. So now we're working with like trying to maintain his throw up episodes and just hoping we don't have to take him to the hospital again because that would be so much more money. So we're
Yeah.
just like food come, food come, food come.
Well,
But
the food is
poor
even
I mean,
expensive though.
yeah, the food's very expensive. Like we have him on a prescription diet right now, but it's chicken. And they're thinking, okay, we're not going to do the chicken. We're going to do just like duck and that's it. And even that's expensive, but this new one is even more expensive. But I would rather have them on, like, if this is it, buy expensive food and that be our solution versus like keep having to figure it out. Like, I'm okay with expensive food if we know that's going to keep him not sick.
Yeah, that's like one of the routes they sent me with Sophia, like trying all of
Mhm.
that. And like I felt like because I think we did duck and we did venison, we tried that, and like
Yeah.
it would work for a little bit and then she would just keep going back to these episodes. So I was like,
Mm,
so the only one that I found that she hasn't had crazy episodes, and they'll throw up randomly from time to time,
yeah.
but is this Trader Joe's brand, and it's eight
Really?
dollars. It's like a holistic chicken. I don't know. I can't remember if it's
Mhm.
chicken or not. I think it is, but it's the only thing that hasn't like caused that issue, and it's $8 a bag, but it's like a smaller bag. So, but
When
yeah, that
Sophia would have her episodes, would she like, cause Bean, when he has episodes, he'll throw up, he'll throw up, and then he won't wanna eat. And so then we're, like, in this gray area where if he doesn't eat, he could have liver failure because he's a bigger cat.
mhm,
So we're like, it's
yeah.
does she would she get that intense?
Um, no, but she would throw up multiple times a day. I don't know.
Oh,
Like it was hard for me to monitor whether she would eat or not after that,
yeah.
just because we have so many cats. But I don't remember like noticing that she wasn't eating because she just kept throwing up all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah, yeah.
But then that toxoplasmosis or whatever you were talking about, I was reading about it because obviously we have cats and you have
Mhm.
cats and whatever. And I've heard that if you've had cats for a while or you have multiple cats, you probably have already had it. And so there's
Really?
less likely chance of you getting it while you're pregnant. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
because you've been around
Very
them
interesting.
for so long.
Yeah, I mean, we've had them
But
forever.
I still don't clean the cat poop while I'm pregnant.
No, I don't either. Rob always does it.
Yeah. I'm like,
And it's
"Oh, I
nice
can't."
because I used to do it before I got pregnant with Eleanor, and Rob took over since then, and I, like,
Mhm.
never took it back, and it's, like, the best
Same with Axel, like, I just never took it back, and I'm like, "Okay,
thing.
you can do that."
Oh, goodness. But that's my updates. What's going on with you?
We are officially transferring to a new daycare. I don't remember if I told you this or
Ooh.
not. I think I
Yeah,
told
you
you
gave me a
about
little
it,
background. Mhm. Yeah.
but, we have officially gave notice at our current daycare, and then we're
Ooh,
moving
yay.
to a smaller in-home daycare. So I'm hoping that that is better. I did notice he had these, like, 2, like, lines. It almost looked like if you took, like, a pen cap and you, like, stabbed your face with it, right? So, like,
Oh.
it didn't look like a bite at all, because obviously that's too small, but I don't know if maybe someone had, like, their tooth on it, I don't know. But it was on his
Mhm.
cheek, and I'm like, "What the frick
Oh
is
my
this?"
gosh.
So I'm literally just like, we have 3 more days there, counting
Yeah.
down the days. And this new person, she already, like, got him into the app and, like, uploaded pictures of just, like, the kids that go to the daycare with him and what
Mhm.
days that they're there, so I know who he's gonna be around. So I
Yeah.
thought that was super nice. So,
And
yeah.
there it's really low count, right? Like 6 or something?
There's only gonna be 5 of them at a time
Mm.
max, but she can have up to 6, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
But right
that's very
now,
nice.
she doesn't have anybody else, like, enrolling, so
Mhm.
there would be 5. And one of them is her daughter, so he
Yeah.
would be exposed to the same. I think there's only 2 people that go Monday through Thursday, which is her daughter and someone else. So there would be 3 of them consistently, and then there's the other 2, right? The other 2 or
5, yeah.
3?
Mhm.
No,
You
there's
said
maybe
3.
there is
There's only 5.
6.
Oh, okay.
'Cause there's 2 girls and then Axel, which go Monday through Thursday, and then there's 2 boys that only go 1 day, and then there's
Mhm.
1 boy that goes, like, 3 days.
Oh, okay. So
So,
it's
there is
yeah.
6, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, so he'll be exposed to the same people. I'm just trying to keep him freaking healthy until we transfer to
Yeah.
this new daycare. Because obviously they're a little bit more strict with the in-home daycare, which I can appreciate because I don't want other people sending their sick kids to daycare and then my kid gets sick because that's what happens
Right.
every single week.
S So my only question is, like, what happens because it's like one person, right? So what happens if, like, she gets sick or her daughter gets sick? Because I'm guessing it's in
So
her home.
yeah, so if she gets sick or her daughter gets sick or they're out, then she is allowed up to X amount of, like, sick days or days off during
Mm.
a year. And then she would give, obviously, she can't give notice if she's sick, but
Yeah.
if she does have other plans, and it's like she'll give notice. But they only had sickness once that went through the daycare last year. So that, I mean,
Gotcha.
that's like one time that you would have to keep your kid home or
Worry about
something.
it. Mhm.
But yeah, so I guess that's the only thing, but I'm not,
Yeah.
like, worried about that because then, obviously, I think depending on if she's sick, if she needs to be out extended period of time, then you don't have to pay, but, like, if your kid's sick, it's like a normal daycare where you still pay for that day.
Okay, yeah. Yep.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
so because it holds your spot.
Yeah, well, that's exciting. You'll have to update us on, like, if it's different or, you
Yeah.
know, if he's less sick.
Well, all I know is that he won't have to wear shoes while he's sleeping, so that'll probably make
That's
a
nice.
world of
Oh,
difference.
yay.
Yeah. Could you imagine sleeping in your shoes? Like, what?
No, no, no way.
So,
Mm-mm.
yeah, and then we also found a new crib for a baby boy, and I think I told you about this because I was super excited that I found a good deal on it, right? Well,
Mhm.
I get it yesterday because I was trying to get it before someone else would buy it,
Yeah.
and it's not exactly the same one from the picture. It almost looks like they had, like, a rough wooded one and then they just
Oh,
painted white over it. So, like, it looks cute, it looks good, like, there's nothing, like, wrong with the look of it, but it's, like, rough, like wood. So I think I might have to, like, sand it and
sanded
repaint it
down.
or just sell it as is and get a different one because I'm like, this is,
Yeah.
like, rough, like, to rub your hands against or if you're, like, standing up on if you're a baby, you
Oh,
know?
weird. Interesting.
So I don't know what this is.
Huh. Yeah, that's
So
super
yeah.
strange. Well, after you said that about Facebook Marketplace, I've actually, because I know we've been talking about double strollers, and I
Mhm.
still don't know where I land, but I'm like, maybe I just get something. There's so many on Facebook Marketplace. I'm like, maybe I just get a double stroller from Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah. And maybe I'll look there too because I was thinking about that too. I'm like, I feel like I'd rather just
Hmm.
have something like either a wagon or a double stroller. But yeah, yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the crib. It just is like rigid, like rigid. And I don't know if that's just because they had like a wooden one and then they painted over it, like they wanted it
But
white.
why would do you think they sanded it not well? Because like they sanded it and repainted it, but didn't like
I don't
smooth it
know. I
out
don't
or something?
know.
Because like what rough, like where could you buy a crib that's just like rough wood?
That's what I'm like. I don't know. I don't. That's
Yeah.
why I don't get it because I'm like, okay, like even if it was like that wood look,
Uh-huh.
and then you wanted it to be white, it wouldn't be rough
Yeah,
because they would have
exactly.
smoothed it out. Yeah. So.
Like I painted Eleanor's dresser and I sanded it because it was like 15 coats of paint on this thing because it's old. And
Hmm.
it's not rough. It's not rough at all.
Yeah. So I'm thinking we'll either do that or I'll just like sell it as is and get a different
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. Depending
I don't know.
on
I was
just,
just really mad because I was really excited about it.
yeah, of course. Of course it happens.
But yeah, that's what's going on with us.
Okay, well, let's hop into our episode. Welcome, everybody, to the Mom Era podcast. My name is Megan.
And I'm Alyssa.
For context, we're recording this at the like mid October, early October. And so we're going to do like a summer recap. So by the
Hmm.
time this airs, it's probably going to be winter.
Yeah, it might be a while.
But just FYI there. So we're coming out of summer and entering winter. So we're taking a moment to reflect on what it's been like navigating the summer season with our 1.5-year-old. I know we've had some episodes before summer started about just ideas and things to do. Maybe we can recap some of that. I definitely did less on that list than I expected, but yeah, let's talk about it.
Okay. From different things that we did, we've survived road trips, we've had heat waves, the summers, we've had lots of adventures, milestones, and challenges, lots of things that have come up, things that we didn't expect. But we're going to dive into our favorite toddler friendly activities and how we handled the ups and downs of travel and what we learned about balancing fun in the sun, keeping a little one happy and healthy, because we all know that my little one has been not healthy from stupid daycare. But
Yeah.
yeah, so all of those challenges. But I think we can dive right into kind of like our summer highlights and how we feel going into fall. Do you want to go first?
Sure. So I think the highlight for summer absolutely is just the warm weather, especially from where we live, and just being able to participate and do things out of the house. And it definitely keeps everybody's mood in the house way much, way
Hmm.
better. But I would say, honestly, we spent a lot of the summer just weekday wise playing in our backyard. And staples of the backyard were the water table. I mean, she is obsessed with her water tables. Like she like still wants to play with it. And I'm like, girl, it's 60 out right now.
Yeah, it's cold.
We also just got like a fun little like wading pool for her. And we used that a handful of times. I bought one of those like splash pad things, but I never ended up using it. So maybe that'll be a next summer thing. But the sand table was also a super hit. I mean, the last week or so, we've been going out before dinner, and she's just been playing in that sand table for like 30 to 40 minutes straight, which she, as a toddler, and as toddler parents know, toddlers do not focus on things for that long.
Yeah.
So the fact she's just like sitting and actively playing, and she'll engage with me, like I'll sit there with her. I'll play a little bit, but she's just kind of playing on her own, and the sand table has definitely been a hit. Now I bought that table because I was gonna do a whole bunch of, like, sensory bins, but we ended up putting sand in it, and it was just kind of, like, perfect, and we didn't end up rotating it or anything. Just felt like sand was kind of annoying to remove, and I was pregnant, so I
Yeah.
wasn't rotating that around, but it was a huge hit in our house, and we loved it. We also have, like, 2 cars, one that she can sit in and we can, like, push that has a handle, and then the what is it? The little what do they call it?
Little
Tykes?
tykes, yeah.
Little Tykes car, yeah, like the yellow and red one. And this summer, she's been obsessed, but she likes to get in and open and close the door or just like push it around. And she's just pushing everything around. She's pushing her stroller, she's pushing her cars. So that's been something we do. We've been going for walks like up and down our street, and there are cows down the street. One of the houses has like these wooden cows,
Mhm.
and she always wants to go say hi to the moo cows. So we go down and say hi to the moo cows. These people probably think we're crazy because we've seen them outside multiple times. We're like, yeah, we're just saying hi to your cows. So in terms of like being home and just having a little bit more flexibility and being able to take her outside and being able to play. We also have a little tyke slide, which she recently in the last few months has started to like climb on her own and go down by herself. So that's been really good. She's also obsessed with chalk. So we usually pull out the chalk almost every day. So that's been like a huge highlight for us is just having that flexibility and the different scenery and just being able to like get fresh air outside.
Mhm.
We've done a lot of, like, activities or things, like, outside also. We've gone to trying to even think at this point of all the things that we've done. Like, we've gone to different, like, town or city festivals, where they have different playgrounds and different things to do for kids. We've taken her to a ton of different parks. We have that tot lot nearby, but we've also taken her to like a ton of different parks. She loves swings, like loves swings, and has become obsessed with slides too. But yeah, I would say those are like our highlights. We'll kind of talk about more specific like activities, and maybe we could talk about some of the things that we've done in those specific areas. But I would say honestly, just biggest highlight is being able to go outside comfortably. Um, and she's enjoyed swimming a lot more this summer too. But that's been our highlight. What about you guys?
Well, my highlight has been being able to go on a walk at work,
Mhm.
because it's like this huge, I want to say like an corporate drive, like kind of where there's like office
Yeah.
buildings, and then there's like a Beyond Juice and like a Chipotle or something, and then you can kind of just like walk around by our building. So like pretty much every day I go on a walk with one of my
Ugh,
coworkers. So it's like
yeah,
really
I love
good.
that.
From a mom and Axel and dad life, we, I feel like, did not play outside as much as like I felt like we would.
Mhm.
One probably being that we don't get home until 6 o'clock at night, and by that time we are
Yeah.
eating and bathing and in bed because we go to bed at 7. However, we do like some of the staples that you talked about, which is the little car that you can push. The one I think you got it for us. He likes to sit
Mhm.
in that and then be pushed around. He also likes to push his yellow and red car around, the little Tice one. He does not like to get
Mhm.
in and out of it. He just wants to push it around. So
You did.
Austin sent to our family, like, if anyone's in need of a tow service, contact
Yeah.
X. 'Cause that's all he wants to do. We did have a splash pad, but he was not a fan of the water spraying at him, so
Yeah.
that didn't last very long. He liked the little like outdoor pool and like the water table, but the water table like probably maybe 10 minutes max. Like that was like we are
Mm.
not. So I'm thinking maybe like a sand table, kind of like what you have, would be interesting. But yeah, we also have like that little kid's house where you can go in and out of the
Oh,
doors and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
how was that?
He really likes hanging out in that. So he'll go out, walk around, go in, go out, and do like
Mhm.
peekaboo Axel. Yeah, he likes to point at people's tires. So, like, if we're outside, he'll just, like, look at the tires. So our outdoor activities, like, are all about cars. But we have
It's
gone
so funny.
we go to the park near our house, and he really liked the slides for a while, but now he's into the swing. We
Oh,
went to
he
a
is.
car show, and he likes looking at the cars. I tried to get him to ride a horse. That didn't work out
Mhm.
very well. But he likes the animals, so, like, if we go to, like, an apple orchard that has, like, the animals, or, um, there's one, like, it's like a park, but they have animals near us, he really likes that.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I think most of the other things that we did were truck related, like those tons of truck events. So, like, you just go and you get in and out of the
Mhm.
truck, and you honk the horn, and you look at all the tires, and you point to them, and you go on the school bus. And so those are a lot of the activities that we've done this summer. I mean, he really likes it. He likes to go out-eyed.
Oh, I'd.
Out-eyed. And he will literally bring me his shoes, and then bring me my shoes, and then push me to the door.
Mhm.
So yeah, so I think it was a successful summer. I think there's other things I'd want to do, but I also am super looking forward to fall. I hate the winter, I hate the fall. Like, I love the summer, right? I'm one of those people
Mhm.
that, like, if I could move to the south, I would in a heartbeat. But this is the first time I've ever been excited about winter and fall, and I think it's just because, like, holidays, and like
Mhm.
things with Axel, and, like, also knowing that Austin's going to be home more.
Yeah, get a
Uh-huh.
little break.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know, I'm just, like, weirdly excited about it. So,
Yeah, I'm excited. I like fall activities and I like the holiday stuff. I feel like after December is when it gets hard.
like January, February. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's like the hardest months.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Eleanor loved sledding last year and she still points to her sled in the garage and wants to ride it. And I'm like, we have to wait. We have to wait until
Oh,
snow.
goodness.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's something we'll have to do. We didn't do that last year, but I think just like other random events that they do have coming up, like they do a lot of like holiday things on the weekends. I feel like
Mhm.
it's less busy on the weekends in the winter and fall. So
Yeah.
it gives you more like time to do things. And everyone
Mhm.
just kind of wants to be cooped up in their house because they don't want to go anywhere. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about all of that.
Yeah.
Plus, I'll be
Yeah, I feel
pregnant
that.
and eating lots of food. So,
Oh, yeah, that's the best part. Heck yeah. Thanksgiving and Christmas food while pregnant.
yeah.
Except the only thing is, like, I feel like we're further along at that point where you just get full very fast. Like, I'm already starting to feel that a little bit.
Well, I'm not. I feel like me being due at the beginning of March, and then me being due at the end of March, I feel like behind now. So
Mhm.
I feel like I'm going to be smaller than I was last year.
Wait, do you have a bump yet? I want to see. Can you stand up?
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually wearing a maternity shirt. I bought some on Amazon, like a pack. So this is like
Oh,
nothing.
yeah, you got a little bump.
But it gets like hard and like sticks out
Uh
more at
huh.
the end of the day.
Let me
No.
see if I can see mine.
Yeah.
I feel like my bump is like bumping.
Oh my god, yeah, you're bumping.
Uh
It's
huh.
so round.
I know,
Mine's
isn't
more like
it?
kinda flat, but it's there, like,
Yeah.
it's not
Like, I don't know.
it's
Where's
bumping,
my butt? There it is.
and we lose our butts when we're pregnant, it's fine.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, I feel like I'm gonna be, like, as round, like, showing, feeling, like, actually pregnant in the next couple weeks, because I feel like it's just, like, it's
Mhm.
getting there. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like it kind of just hit me the last few weeks where I'm like, "Oh, wow.
yeah.
I'm pregnant." I feel much more pregnant at 23 weeks now than I did. I'll have to look back at pictures of
I
myself,
feel
but I
like it
feel like
looks
I'm
so
bigger.
round compared to, like, how you
Uh-huh.
looked with Eleanor. But that's I mean,
Yeah.
they say that with boys, you look like a basketball.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's how I
I feel
felt.
like I didn't pop that much with Eleanor until, like, 3rd trimester.
Well, and when I talk to my mom, like, you carry more in with girls than you carry out with boys, but,
Mm.
um, I don't know. Like, I mean, so far, everyone that I know that's been pregnant, like, has been proving my theory to be true. But
Yeah. It feels true for me so far. I feel very pregnant and round.
it looks so good, though. It's like perfect. It's like a perfect
I
round.
know, it's like a nice little
Oh, yeah. So I had to buy those shirts because I was like, I don't, I need something.
I'm just glad I bought some shirts too, but I don't know. I don't like wearing tight clothes, but then I feel weird when I'm like pregnant because I feel like my clothes are just too baggy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how to dress myself.
It's okay.
Okay, well, let's recap just some like maybe more like specific topics of summer, and we can talk about some of the things maybe that we did or we didn't do or we did like or we didn't like. So maybe some of our favorite outdoor activities. So go to summer activities like water play, parks, splash pads, picnics. I really wanted to go to a splash pad and we never made it to one. The closest thing we got to is when we went to Disney. There was like this Moana experience that had like water everywhere, and Eleanor was obsessed. She really likes water. But we mostly just like went swimming, went to parks. We didn't have any picnics. I don't even know if she would like handle that right now. But we went camping a few times. We went to the zoo a few times. God, I'm trying to like think back on all the stuff we did because I felt like we had such an active summer, but then I'm like, what did we even do? A lot
I
of
know it
parks.
feels
We went
like
to
it.
a lot of
By,
different parks.
yeah, it feels like it went by so fast.
It went by very fast, like very, very fast. We've had family parties outside, like pool parties and stuff. We went to some beaches and had her swim. Rob took her to like an outdoor concert for kids, which was a lot of fun. But yeah, those were some of our favorites. I love like the community events or like the events nearby, like the outdoor concert for kids that Rob took Eleanor to was like a community event that was like a few communities over, but just things like that we really like to take advantage of in the summer because they're typically free. I like
Yeah.
free.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we went to a few community events, but again, like we also moved, so just kind of trying to get familiar with this area.
Yeah.
Um, we didn't go to a splash pad either. I think that was like something I thought of, but just like without giving away where we're at. um,
Mhm.
there's some like circumstances that made me not want to go to one.
Me too.
Um,
Yeah. I was a
yeah.
little afraid.
But anyway, we did a lot with water. We went in the pool at my mom's house a lot. Um, I feel like we spent a lot of time too, like going out to eat like
Mhm.
outside because that's what like my family likes to do.
Yeah.
Like we like to sit outside. And so we've really been working on that. Like he's been getting so much better. Like we used to have meltdowns with like eating at the restaurants. So I think
Mhm.
doing a lot of that over the summer helped like mitigate that. So in terms of any other places, I mean, we really went to like the tons of trucks events, and we went on a few different walks. But yeah, nothing too
Yeah.
crazy. I feel like being a parent now, you have to like plan everything out and like figure out when all
Mhm.
these events are. So I feel like next year it'll be easier because I'll be like, okay, like I know these things are coming up and I have to plan for these things
Yeah.
and like when I want to get what in from like a summer activity.
Yeah. Plus your circumstances are different, especially with Austin working 7 days a week. Like,
Mhm.
if I were in your circumstance, I just feel like the amount of activities I would do would probably be less because it's a lot to do all of that on your own. And I know you have a big family, and I'm sure you did a lot of that stuff with your family, but I'm sure your circumstances just makes it a little bit more difficult in the summer.
Mhm. Yeah. That I mean, that's one of the main reasons I love summer and I want to do all these things because it's my favorite time
Mhm.
of year, but I like I don't want to go by myself with the toddler.
Yeah.
Last
Yeah, and
summer
2
was
kids.
different. I could do that, but
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Oh gosh.
so then the next one would be some of the challenges of hot weather. So managing naps when you're out, making sure that the babies aren't overheating and they're staying hydrated or even staying cool. I know that you and I have talked about this on the podcast that Eleanor and Axel's cheeks will get super red and like you can tell
Mhm.
that they're getting super hot when they're outside on some of those hot days. And I honestly just like shoved water in his face every 5 minutes. I'm
Mhm.
like, here, drink this, water, water. So
Yeah.
it's hard to mitigate that unless you're really paying attention because you sometimes you won't notice how hot they're getting.
Did you have any issues because you put him to bed earlier with, like, the fact that it went from dark to light at bedtime?
No, we did not. I was surprised, honestly, but we have like the darkening curtains. So when he takes a
Yeah.
nap or when he's going to bed, either way, they're closed. But I really liked it in the summer just from like a parent perspective because we could put him down and then I still felt like we had some daylight.
Yeah, I
Um,
know.
and then if we did end up doing something that went later into the day, like we went out to dinner at 7 the other day. And so we just gave him like a later nap, like a little 30-minute,
Mhm.
1 hour nap. And then we went out to eat and he was fine. So
Yeah.
I think just being able to do that has helped. But yeah, now it's like pitch black when he goes to bed.
Yeah. I know, same. Yeah, we didn't have any issues either, but I feel like next year we might because they're more, like, aware
hmm
of the daylight, and, I mean, right now she points out, "Oh, it's nighttime. It's
mm
dark out." And we always say, "Oh, yeah, it's dark out, it's bedtime," you know?
Yeah.
And she's been, like, saying that before we go to bed, which, like, next summer, it's not gonna be dark when she goes to bed.
Yeah. 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 It'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how that plays out.
Does Axel wear well, I guess a lot of times he's out. So when he's home, does he wear a sleep sack for naps?
Yeah. So they wouldn't let us give him a sleep sack at daycare. This new daycare, we
Okay.
can. He has like two different sleep sacks. So he has the one without the feet and then the one with the
Mhm.
feet where you can put the feet through. So we literally just switch back and forth. But sometimes we put him in the one that doesn't have the feet just because it's easier because he's not like jumping up and down. And then I don't have to
Mhm.
put socks on him when he sleeps. But yeah, he still sleeps with a sleep sack. I tried doing just like a blanket and like a pillow, like, when he's in our bed or when
Mhm.
he's sick. And he doesn't like that because he likes to like flop around and sleep on his stomach a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking we're going to be sleep sack babies for a little bit.
We are too. We just don't sleep in we like have never really put her I think since we've stopped swaddling naps, we never put her in swaddles or a sleep sack, and it was
Mm,
just at night. So like, but for some reason, nap, and I don't know if it's just like because it's warmer during the day, she always wakes up with the most pink cheeks ever. Like she was warm, but like not at night. That never happens. So yeah. And we always
yeah.
have to put her in like a really light one in the summer. She's like in a really light sleep sack. Like the one you got me for, was it her birthday? Christmas, something
Yeah.
like that for Eleanor. Like we can't wear it because it's too thick right now. So I'm like starting to pull some of the more thicker ones out because we're getting cold at night. But we've all summer had to be in like a really light one.
Yeah. We had like the 1.0 tog that we used during the
Hmm.
summer. So I have two, I have like one footed and one non footed for 1.0, and then I have same for the 2.5 for the winter.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, sometimes he would take naps, like if I transfer him from the car to the bed without the sleep sack, just because like he's already warm. It's like hot out.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I mean he knows when you put him in, he knows he's going to bed. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that'll go. That transition.
Yeah. I don't even think it's like they say keep them in that like as long as possible. I think, like, once you move them to toddler bed, they should no longer be in it, I
I guess
think.
it depends. I mean, if they can't, they probably at least be in the ones with the feet because they want to get in and out of
Yeah.
it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep. For us, I mean, yeah, man, naps, I mean, we had our naps weren't affected. Nothing was really affected. Sleep wasn't affected in summer at all. I mean, she's still been a really good sleeper. She's really good at drinking water too. I mean, we're just basically drinking water all day, every meal. We have something out. If we go outside, we'll take it with us. I think the biggest challenge of hot weather for us was one, that time our air conditioning didn't work or we had lost power or whatever, and it was just so hot in our house. And then two, in the car. Like, I just feel like the car gets so hot, and even just, like, putting them in it before it cools down, like, always freaks me out. Like, the one time when I was talking about, we went to that Topgolf, and it was so hot that day, our car was so hot, and it just felt like she didn't cool down the whole time, and I was, like, so worried because there's no, like, air that gets to the back. The
Hmm.
cars are so they're not set up in a nice way to give the backseat passengers any air, especially when you're like rear facing, because it's not like the air is coming your way. So that's been a challenge. Typically we would keep a fan, like one of those stroller fans, on her car seat pointing directly at her, so that would help. But I would say that was like our biggest challenge for hot weather.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
sunscreen, man, she fought us like a bunch with the sunscreen. Got way better towards the end of summer, but beginning of summer, that was like the
How
worst thing about
often were
going
you
outside.
putting sunscreen? Like every time you went outside?
Every time we went outside, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
I don't think I ever put sunscreen on. I no, I did like when we went to the pool. Like when we would go to the
Yeah.
pool and like more of his body would be exposed, but if we were just outside in the sun, like he would just I
Did he get color or any, like, redness or anything? No?
no. He didn't like I was like, "Oh, like I definitely forgot to put sunscreen on him." And he was out like all day long one day and he
Mhm.
got a little red, but not even like red. Like and
Yeah,
I was
because
just
he's so
and
fair too.
yeah, I was so surprised because I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay, you're either gonna like tan super easily like me and your dad, or you're just gonna burn and
Yeah.
nothing." So I don't know. I just never put it on him unless we were swimming. But the air, like you said, is hard. In the van, he has one that's right above his
Mhm.
head, but it doesn't like blow as hard. So like usually I have that one on like two or three times what I have the front on.
Yeah.
But
Because you could change it. You could change it to whatever you want in
mhm,
the back. Yeah,
yeah.
that's nice. Yeah, I'm jealous of that. Toddler friendly summer outings. We've kind of talked about this in terms of activities, but like the best spots that we visited, zoos, farms, fairs, I would say the zoo is honestly one of our favorite places. Like, we have the membership. We went like 3-ish times this summer. We also went to some like petting zoos and some like local fairs, but I feel like the zoo is definitely the most toddler friendly. They have stuff for them to do. We also went to that conservancy with the animals that's like near our house, which is very similar to the zoo, but just more like hands on and interactive. And she loves animals. So those are both a hit. We'll probably do the membership again next year, which I think renews at the end of December.
Yeah. We went to like a lot of the orchards around us or like parks and they have a lot of like animals, like petting animals, and then they have like toddler
Hmm.
activities. So we did a lot of that because that was just easy. But like we didn't
Hmm.
go to the zoo. I we went to the zoo last October and he was freezing and
Hmm.
he was like still super small and there was one animal out,
Yeah.
so I was not impressed. So and just like trucking all the way there because it's like further away. I
Yeah.
feel like I would still try out the zoo. I just am not like a big fan of the zoo. So,
We should do, like, while we're on maternity leave and once things are getting a little bit warmer, we should do a trip
hmm,
to the zoo with the fams.
yeah, with all of
Be
them.
fun. Hmm.
Seasonal milestones. So we had, I feel like a lot of milestones hit this summer. Walking, talking, even like they do things on their own. They tell me no now. Like um tantrums. But yeah, I feel like it was a nice like setup the way in terms of the way that we had our babies because last year it was just like they were good enough to be like out and about and they weren't like newborn anymore. And then this year it was like they're walking and talking and exploring. And so I really think it's a fun timing in which we had our children. So yeah, I think it worked out.
Yeah, I remember before summer hit, we were both saying, like, let's let our toddlers walk. Like, please walk so you can
Hmm.
like do activities. And honestly, it was the best thing for them being able to like walk for the first time in summer where we could like go out and do things. Um, yeah, that was a highlight because we got to do just like way more than even just like going to a park is so much easier when they're
Yeah,
so
you
we've
just put
taken
them
her to a
down and
park
they run.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run around, get that energy out.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then lessons learned. So, being a toddler parent during the summer months and what we might do differently next year. Now, next year is going to be a whirlwind for us because we're going to have a newborn infant and a
And a
toddler
toddler.
still. So I don't even know what I would do differently at this point.
I feel like the only thing I would do differently would be like it's just gonna kind of go with the flow. I mean, I did a little
Hmm.
bit more of that this year than I did last year. Like I felt like last year I was very like, okay, here's our schedule. And then this
Yeah.
year was a little bit less, but like next year I feel like it's just gonna be so relaxed because we'll have gone through that stage with our babies already. So we already know what to expect. So we'll just like, okay, like we're just gonna go and do something and then come home. You know what I mean? Like it's just not
Yeah.
it'll just be a different mental experience, I guess.
Yeah. I think the only thing I can think of, and I agree with you there, because I feel like as the years have gone on since having Eleanor, I've just become way more relaxed and comfortable. And when second baby comes, I think that will be the case. But I'm hoping just like next summer, maybe Rob and I can take more time together to do like things one on one with both of us since we'll be a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, that's just something I want to do more.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I I had talked about this because I was like, I want to do things like just us. Like I want to go on like
Mm,
a vacation, like just us two. And I'm like, well, I kind of feel like we signed up for kids, so like that's not going to be anytime soon. But like small getaways or small dates or overnighters or
hmm.
things like that, I feel like we could get away with, but not like
Yeah.
week long cruises or something.
No, no. Probably not. I mean, some people do. Maybe when they're a little bit older. Like I
Yeah.
know my cousin and his wife like went to Europe together for a week, but their kids are, older, school aged and stayed with grandma and grandpa, you know.
Yeah. So I guess as Midwesterns, I'd say we're sad to see summer,
Midwesterners.
sad to say goodbye to summer because it just feels like is only here for such a short period of time.
It always feels like that.
But with every season, we're like, our child's filled with growth, they're learning, there are lots of surprises, like I talked about, like the holidays are coming up, so that'll be
Mhm.
exciting. And we're just kind of excited to see what this next season brings as the toddlers continue to grow and change. I think it will be so interesting to like look back like after next summer and look back at like the first 2 summers of like our kids being
Mhm.
toddlers and like how different we felt about them.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's honestly, I say this every time, but like every stage Eleanor's in is like, oh, this one's so good. It's my favorite. I'm having so much fun.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm excited for like birthday and Christmas this year because I feel like she'll have more of a grasp of the activities and how fun it is because she was still so little last year. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun. What mom era are you in?
I am in my no mom era. So like we could say no before, but now we are just like using no constantly. Like,
Hmm.
do you want to eat? No. Do you want milk? No. Can we
Does he
put the
mean
cat?
it?
No, like half the time he doesn't mean it. He's just saying no.
Hmm.
But also like he uses eat as like an excuse to like do something now. So
Oh.
like okay, so for example, this morning he woke up at 5:30 and he was like literally face down with his butt in the air, just going mom, 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 dad, 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 dad. And like I like he was whining, but I couldn't tell if he was just sleep talking and then he was like gonna get up. So then finally when he stood up, I was like, okay, you're up. Um so I go in there and he like I get him and the first thing, milk, milk. Okay, we're getting milk. So I give him milk. I bring him in my bed and I'm like, okay, drink your milk, lay down, whatever. I was like, we're going back to bed. It's still dark. And then he finishes his milk. I turn off the light. He brings his face like over by me, takes out his pacifier, and he goes, eat, eat. I'm like, you want to eat? I'm like, we can eat in 30 minutes. We're going to eat after your milk digests. Like,
Mhm.
no, no, eat, eat. Okay. So then I get him up and I'm like, okay, screw it. We're just starting the day. I get the banana for him to eat. He takes one bite and then I try to give him another bite. No, no, no. That's what he says. Do you want this? No, no. Okay. And then I like finally, now we're back on pouches again. I don't know why we go back
Mm.
and forth between hating pouches.
Yeah, we do too.
So I'm like, pouch. And he's like, yeah, he's excited. And I'm like, okay. So I give him the pouch and I'm like, going to put it in his mouth because every single time I give it to him and like right when it's brand new, he just squeezes it and then it goes everywhere. So I don't
Mhm.
give it to him until it's like empty. And he just keeps saying no, no, no. And I'm like, what? He wanted to hold it. He wanted to hold it by himself. He wanted to do it by himself.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's kind of how
The
our
no
no is going.
stages. Yeah, the no stage is hard. Eleanor never went through like just a no stage, but she does this thing right now which is really frustrating, right? Where like for example, we were outside and I was like, "Do you want to walk to get the mail with mama or do you want to keep playing with your table?" And she'll be like, "I'll keep playing with my table. Like, I'm going to stay." So she'll say one thing, right? She'll say, like, yes or no, right? Or she'll say, I'll do this, I won't do this. And then I start to leave, and she's like, I'm coming, Like, or she'll change it. You'll like, do you want strawberries? Yes. And then you start to get them. She's like, no, 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 no. Or same thing. I'll be like, "Do you want strawberries?" She's like, "No." And then she'll be like, "Yes." So she like immediately will say one and then say the other. Be like, "Oh no, I
Hmm.
do." So I'm like, "Girl, you need to stop and think. You need to stop and
Yeah.
think about what you want because
Hmm.
driving me crazy." But at least he's like I'm sure he's excited that he's like communicating something like that to you guys cuz I feel
Oh
like as toddlers they get really frustrated cuz they're like yes, no, but they can't communicate it?
yeah.
So then they overuse it.
Yeah, we also I know we talked about this before and I'll just make it quick, but m- like how they didn't like if they don't eat what's on their plate, like it might be something that they
Mhm.
really like but they weren't eating it and then they just started throwing it on the ground.
Yeah.
So he's kind of he's stopped throwing it on the ground. I mean, randomly things will go on the ground, that's fine.
Mhm.
But now he'll like pick it up and move it into a different like section of the plate. I don't know what that is about. Or
Eleanor
he'll
does
just leave
that
it there.
too.
Because I'm like, "Okay,
Uh-huh.
well, we're not gonna eat it. We'll leave it there. That's fine." And then he'll just, like, eat one thing, and then he'll just be, "More, more." I'm like, "More which one? Like, which what?"
Mhm.
And then I'll get him more, and then he won't eat it. It's just yeah, yeah.
it's it's so
But we're
fun,
not
isn't
throwing
it?
it on the ground. So
Eleanor's been doing that too, where she moves it, or she'll like hand it to me because she a lot of times she just doesn't want what she doesn't want on her plate.
yeah, yeah,
And
like,
so
they
we've
don't want it.
tried to bring back, yeah, the like all done bowl or whatever. I'll have her give it to me, and I'm like, or if you're all done, just put it right here, you know.
Mhm.
Oh, funny, funny. Um,
Well oh, sorry, one more thing too, I just thought of this,
uh,
and, like, if I do have to give him medicine or something, or if I'm, like, sucking the boogers out or doing something negative that he doesn't like, I've
mhm.
noticed that, like, I'm doing it, he's screaming, crying, and then if I say "all done" when I'm done, then he just, like,
Uh-huh.
will immediately stop crying and look at me and go, "All done, all done." I'm like, "Okay." So it's kind of
Oh,
like in that scenario too, like,
yeah.
he knows that it's stopping, and so he knows
Mhm.
he's not like, doesn't need to be upset anymore. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a good like
Yeah.
What is that called? Whatever.
Reminder,
Good thought process for
something.
Yeah. Oh man, my mom era was it was like hard for me to think about it, but I'm like running into this situation where because we're going into fall, like I'm a one cup of coffee in the morning type of person. Like I just it like sets my day. It feels really good. Like you just have one cup of coffee and I'm typically good for the day. And when I was pregnant with Eleanor, I didn't drink coffee at all. And now that I'm pregnant with Arlo, I'm like trying not to. I've been drinking a lot of decaf just because I like the feeling of it. But going into fall, I'm like, I'm having such a hard time not drinking coffee. But I've been making myself some decaf
Girl,
coffee. I know you're allowed to have a cup, but it's like,
yeah. Take that cup because I didn't drink any pop with Axel, right? And so
mm-hmm.
now I limit it to one small or like medium. And if I get a medium pop, I'm like not even finishing it because once it gets watered down, I
Yeah.
don't finish it. So it's really like a small pop that I drink every day.
Mm-hmm.
And so sometimes I'll get two small pops, but that's okay because like it's okay and I need it to survive right now. Like
Yeah.
I am okay with that. But yeah, like it is just such a great feeling not being anxious about it because I was so anxious about not drinking pop with Axel. And I'm like, you
Mm-hmm.
can have caffeine. I'm going to drink some
Yeah.
caffeine. Like it's not going to kill my
I
pain.
know that's I've done been way more lenient. Like today, my cup of coffee is actually caffeinated
Yeah.
coffee because I got up at 6 a.m. this morning. So I am more lenient on myself, but I just like am trying to have similar conditions because I had a really good pregnancy with Eleanor. So I'm trying to have like similar conditions with this one to
Hmm.
have a similar outcome. But yeah, yeah. But
Oh,
yeah,
it's
that's my
hard.
era. I just want coffee.
Especially after you go through it once, you're just like, okay, like I'm going to eat some candy today. Like,
Oh, I need to ask you really
yeah.
quick. How is your ab workouts? Your or your once a day or
I
your
did one. I did one. No, I did two. I did two. I did two since I said that. And yeah.
Well, I've done 0, so but I don't think I'd ever do an ab workout. Like I'm just trying to be more
No, not like
active.
ab. Yeah, I'm doing trying to do a workout or I'm trying to do core. So like
Mhm.
small core movements just to keep my core. So, yeah.
Mhm.
I did two at
Well,
home.
good. Two is good. I like it.
Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. So,
I've been
right?
hitting my like watch thing quite frequently, but I'm just way more active this pregnancy than I was last pregnancy, just in general without trying because of a toddler. But yeah, I wanted to ask because I know
I weighed myself today and I like haven't gained any weight.
I I'm the same. I'm way well. I have gained some, but I kept track of like what I gained last time versus this time, and I'm like way lower this time than I was last time.
Dang. Yeah, I gained like 30 pounds, 20 or 30 pounds last time. So I was expecting to like slowly
Hmm.
start going up, which is what I did last time, but maybe not yet, maybe not till after 20 weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, don't they say second trimester you typically gain like a pound a week?
Maybe. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't remember.
But
I don't remember.
I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, everyone, thank you for joining us on the Mom Era podcast. We hope that this recap of summer activities and our experiences of what did and didn't work for us uh, is helpful.
Mhm.
So thanks for just joining us on this journey and listening to our experiences. If you have any other activities or fall or winter activity ideas, share with us so that
Mhm.
we can use them this season.
Yeah, and I think we're going to talk about like fall favorites next episode, so we'll maybe throw some of those in if we get
And
any.
if this is airing in the winter, then winter and spring activities, because I don't know when
Yeah,
this is going to air. But
true.
any activities that you have that work for your toddler, share them with us.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at momera_podcast. And we will see you next time.
Bye bye.
Bye.